Let's talk about it. This is the podcast where Jamie and Kirsten talk about everything.
No limits, no boundaries.
Join us while we talk about what really goes on in our lives.
Anything goes.
So without further ado, let's talk about it.
Hello.
Welcome.
Why was that energy so low?
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
I hated that. Let's redo this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About It. We can't skip a week and then come back like, hey.
You're right. I'm so scared to keep smiling. I'm scared I'll get into the spit problem I'm having.
Okay, but it's fine because we're both having spit problems today.
Love it.
Okay. That's so disgusting.
Yeah.
What trigger warning, spit.
What a way to start the episode. What a way to start the episode. Good evening, you sexy fuckos.
Good evening, you sexy fuckers. Morning, afternoon, whenever you're listening.
Yeah, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About It with Jamie and Kirsten.
Woo-hoo.
I want to just give a quick thing for anyone who just so happens, if you're watching the video version, let's just point out the obvious. I'm very swollen still. It's not
Jamie,
as bad
honestly,
as it was.
I don't think you're really swollen today.
It feels swollen. My cheeks inside.
I mean, I'm sure it feels swollen, but looking at you, I think it's because I'm so
used to normal.
Yeah, I feel like I'm so used to looking at you for the past week, so big.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I've worded that wrong.
No, you're
it's swollen.
No, my face was unbelievably large. So yeah, if you're noticing my face and I look different, that's why. But who gives a fuck? It'll go down. It's fine. Get over it. Anyway.
Period. I think that was more of a message for yourself.
It really was. That was it hit a little too close to home.
I think you're reassuring yourself that it's fine.
No, for sure. That's exactly what I was doing. Yeah, so I just want to say that, and then for obviously all the listeners, I talked about last week, I got my wisdom teeth out. I'll get into the complications, but basically I'm probably not going to be talking as much as I normally would because my shit hurts really bad. But I feel like I can make this work for an hour. I feel like it'll be fine.
Yeah, we got it. I feel like we skipped an episode. We could honestly, I will take blame for why we didn't upload again.
I mean, it was definitely my fault.
Well, I said that we could record prior to your surgery, but I'll get into my school stuff later. But
I mean, and I
that
also
kind of was a big factor. And then
I didn't necessarily want to film because I was having panic attacks the 2 days before my surgery.
Oh my god, you're gonna have to talk about that.
Yeah, it was just not good. So there's lots to talk about.
Me too.
Sit down, buckle in, grab a snack, grab a drink,
listen to us bitch for literally the next hour.
Yeah, so
because that's what it essentially is going to be. Because I feel like I don't have a lot to talk about. I have
this could be our what are we at 6 therapy sessions? This could be another therapy session.
I'm just really good at bitching about literally everything.
Keep talking. I have to drink something.
Okay. Well, if you are our video listener, you should be glad that my hair actually fell. It's looking my bangs are looking better.
It looks like fucking Mr. Corelli from Hannah Montana.
I had my hot rollers in. I've been on this hot roller.
We love that
move lately.
I'm trying a new style out today. I was feeling let's switch it up. I got a little half up moment. My hair's I'm upset. I just washed it last night. Tell me why it looks greasy. Maybe I didn't wash the conditioner out all the way. I don't know.
I think I always have that issue.
But
I've a lot to bitch about my hair too, and in my update. But
God, my fucking face hurts. Sorry.
I've had curtain bangs for literally a year and don't know how to style them still.
They look great.
I'm finally.
I don't really style mine.
I'm kind of getting the hang of it a year later, but the only way I could style them is with a hot roller. But I do it inwards because they're kind of short. I feel like this is how it goes every time I get my hair done. The first week, my bangs, they're too short.
Right.
Second week, perfect length. Third week, until I get my hair done again, too long.
Yeah.
So I have 1 week of And then
Good
literally if
bangs.
there's any weather at all besides just like stillness outside,
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
it doesn't work. Like
Yeah,
any
I've
gust of
been there.
wind,
I've
I'm like,
had
motherfucker.
I've had literally every type of bang you can have. I've had them like throughout high school. I always did funny shit with my hair. I had like micro bangs for some reason.
Well, we learned today not to do straight across for me.
Yeah, I've literally had every bang, and it's literally you can't exist in like wind with bangs. It just doesn't work. So,
But my Bing, I want to say like a week and a half ago. Yeah, because Lake, my niece, she's what, like
mhm.
2 weeks old.
Yeah.
Um, I Snapchatted my sister and she was like, "You look different today." I was like, "I actually like styled my hair." And
Mhm.
she was like, "Your bangs are giving like you're a middle age, not like a 30-year-old. That's not middle age at all.
Mm-mm.
Like a 30-year-old divorced mama too, living off alimony." And I was like,
Love.
"That's such like a great compliment.
That's the
Thank you.
moment. Yeah.
Thank you."
Period. So we love that. Um, yeah, I mean, how do we begin? Where to start?
Oh, also, I just have to mention during that time, where she said that she was with her friend, and she's like, "I never realized how big Kirsten's lips are." And my sister's
Period.
like, those are
Yeah.
not real.
Yeah, those are not real.
But I love
Um,
that for me.
Period. Yeah, we love that.
Should
Um,
we just like dive
Anyways,
into two-week
yeah,
weekly update?
sure, yeah. Do you want me
I'll
to go
let
first?
yeah, I'll let you take the reins.
Okay, so it was 2 weeks ago now we filmed. I was not in the best mood. I want to apologize for that episode. I just wasn't feeling like myself.
Wow,
But
thank you.
hello? That wasn't directed at you. That was for the listeners. What am I apologizing to you for?
I'll listen to it for the hour.
Oh my God. Um,
I was like, like, I, I'm not making this about me. But I feel like when I say that, I'm saying, but it's about
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
My BPD was on S games mode that day. I was like, she literally hates me. Like, she
No,
doesn't like me.
I was just not feeling like myself,
Because you
but
had been like, I'm literally fine. And I was like,
yeah, I mean, I just get like that sometimes. And it was also like a couple days before my period started, so it
yeah.
was just like hormonal and I was just like, ugh.
You're like,
But I'm
I'm
good.
literally fine. I'm just chilling. And I was like, okay, so she hates me.
No,
Like
I'm
any,
literally I
you
was
know,
being like I was just hanging out, like I couldn't complain. I was just like not having the best time.
yeah, but like my brain, any change like of tone with
Mhm.
anyone, I'm like, oh my God, they fucking hate me.
Oh my God, no, I don't
And I
hate you.
spent like 3 days like reflecting, like Jamie literally doesn't like me anymore.
Oh my God, I could never.
Oh my God, thanks.
So sure, yeah. So that episode, I'm sorry, I just wasn't really feeling up to it, but it's okay. We're back. We're better than ever. Well, actually, we're not better than ever. I've been so much better than I am now, but so basically, yeah. Since then, I would talked a little bit about we've talked about it so many times at this point about my jaw problems, my mouth problems, wisdom teeth surgery, all of it. And the day finally came. So let's talk a little bit about leading up to that.
Oh,
So it was like 2 days before. It was so I had them out on a Monday, and so the Saturday and Sunday, it was just like anxiety city, man. Like I,
honestly, my suggestion, like the only like advice I could have brought you would be like just sleep for the next 2 days. So I don't
yeah,
I don't I'm so
I'm
bad with that. Like I
so
don't know. I don't
we
know.
know I'm like already a hypochondriac. I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to like doctors and surgery or anything like that. It's really like one of my biggest fears. I don't like it. And so I literally had panic attacks like 2 days before, the day before, the day of. I was like hyperventilating, like freaking out and it's the craziest shit cuz it's literally like a wisdom tooth removal. Like it's not a heart surgery. You know what I'm saying? But in my brain, I was like, "Okay, well, these are my last 2 days on earth because I'm going to die on Monday." Like that's really where my brain takes me. And I'm not quite sure why, but, like, that's really how I felt. So, like, those last 2 days, I'm, like, eating all this good food. I'm like, "Well, these are my last meals, like, I gotta make it count." I'm, like, doing all
Not
this
the
shit.
last meal.
That's really how I felt, like, I thought I was gonna die, and so it's so dramatic. It's so fucking stupid, but that's anxiety,
What
so
really killed me was you're like, I feel like so sick to my stomach with anxiety that like I can't eat. And I was
yeah.
like, okay, like why don't you do like something like easy on the stomach, like toast or something? And you're like, I'm gonna get sushi. And I'm like, okay, because that's so easy on the stomach.
Well, what I get is just cucumbers, rice, and seaweed. My sushi order is just vegetables,
Seaweed.
but did I say that? Sorry. Don't. Okay, we cannot make me laugh. Okay, anyways. So, yeah, I had a lot of anxiety leading up to this. And I was also scared because I knew it's like mine were like really fucked up and it like was probably not going to go great, which it didn't. So, this is what happened. So, I've got some funny stories for you. So basically the day comes, it's Monday. I had to wake up at like 6:30 a.m.
You know
to do.
what? I apologize because you asked me to get up early, and by the time I woke up that day, you were like at the
Yeah.
hospital.
No, it's okay. Don't even worry about it. I figured I didn't want to be a bother. And I
I
had
would have
my
woken
dad.
up. You should have just like called me. I
Yeah,
probably
I'm
would.
fucking right. You would have killed me. Are you kidding
So
me?
I probably
You're like,
would have
shut the
yelled.
fuck up. I hope you don't wake up from your surgery. That's what you would have said.
Have we talked about this on here? How I act when
Yeah, we've
people wake.
talked about your fucking. We did like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah. I mean, like
She's crazy when she first wakes up.
I probably would have like gotten over it in like 5 minutes, but like
You would have been
actually
like,
maybe like
honestly,
five
Jamie, I
hours.
hope you don't wake up from your surgery and I hope they break your jaw so you can never talk again. That's what you would have said.
Honestly, probably.
So, yeah, the morning of, I wake up bright and early. And it also sucks because when you have a surgery, you can't eat or drink anything like after midnight. And I'm like notorious for my midnight snack. Like, that's what I do. Like, every single fucking night of my life, I wake up at like 2 a.m., go downstairs, drink a cold like Coke or a Sprite or something.
That's psychopath behavior. You
No,
literally
it's
wake up in
not.
the middle of the night, you open like a fucking
A
nice
cold
cold
it's gotta be
soda.
ice cold soda, take a couple swigs of that, I get a snack, I sit at the
Like
kitchen
I
table.
know that like your chest is bubbling up. Like
No, it's really like that. So I like go down, I like get a soda, I get a snack, usually some sort of like chip or like a popcorn perhaps, just something
and
fun and
you go back
easy.
to bed after
For
that?
sure. So I sit at the kitchen
What the
table.
fuck is wrong with you?
I sit at the table, I drink my soda, I scroll through TikTok, I eat a snack, and then I go back up to my room and go back to sleep.
I could never. Like if I got up and got like a drink and like had a nice little snack, like I'm up for the day.
No, I'm really good at like falling back asleep. So yeah, I usually do that, but I couldn't because you can't eat or drink anything. And so I was already like upset because I was hungry when I woke up and parched, so thirsty, and I couldn't drink anything. And I'm like, fuck. So the spit's accumulating. So, basically, I wake up, have a quick little cry because I don't want to do it, and then I suck it up, put on the big girl pants, and walk out the front door with my dad to drive to Cleveland to do this shit. And at this point, like, it really, my, like, suppressing emotions really took over and I went numb. And I was like, I'm not feeling anything because I'd rather not feel anxious. So my body shut down and I was like, okay, well, this is happening. There's nothing I can do about it. So I'm like in the car, like sitting with my arms crossed on the way to the hospital. And my dad looks over at me. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like closed in on myself and I had like my music going and I'm just like sitting there staring out the window, like not singing. And I always sing in the car, but I'm just sitting there like listening to like One Direction and not singing along. Like that's how you know something was wrong. I'm
Like
like
you sound bad.
no, for real. I'm like staring out the window and then he was like, "What is your problem?" And I was like, "Don't fucking talk to me." Like I really had to like dial in and like just accept my fate. And so basically, it was, like, the longest drive of my life. It's literally 45 minutes, but it felt like hours, and then so we get there, and we got there a little early because we were, like, accounting for rush hour that just never
Yeah.
happened, and so we had like no traffic, and so we got there really early, and so we're sitting in the parking lot, and I'm like sitting there, and I like recline my chair back, and I was laying there, and I was like, okay, this is it. And so my dad's like, you're gonna be fine, and I'm like, no, like you
Just
really
a
don't
cup of
understand.
tea.
Like I'm not gonna be fine. And so yeah, I was just laying there meditating, and then the time came to like do it, go out of the car and walk to the hospital, and I would not get out of the fucking car. I was literally sitting there planted. I wasn't going anywhere. And my dad
That's
was like,
so crazy.
no, and my dad was like, Jay, like you have to come on. Like we gotta go. And I'm like, no. Simply no. Like I'm not going. Like let's just cancel. I was dead set on canceling. And he was like, Jamie, we're already here. Like get your like fucking suck it up and go. I'm like, he was sitting there. He is a legend though, because he really like got me gassed up, and I got a little mad. Cause he's like, quit being a little bitch, get the fuck up, like you're fine. And I'm like, you didn't raise a bitch, you're right. So I got out of the car and I walked my ass into that hospital. And so we got lost because this hospital is so
Was it like
confusing.
main campus? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we had to like go in through the emergency room, and then like it was on a whole different floor. It was really confusing. And so we finally found it, and I'm sitting there, and I was there like 30 minutes early, so I thought I had like 30 minutes to mentally prepare myself. And so I'm sitting in the waiting room, and the lovely lady walks out and she goes, Jamie? And I'm like, that's me. And she goes, okay, well, we're actually going to take you back early. And I said, oh, so I don't have those 30 minutes to mentally prepare myself. Okay, cool. So it's like, it's happening at that point. So I'm like, fuck, this is it. So I hugged my dad. I'm like, all right, it's been real. Like, nice knowing you. And so I like walk back there, and automatically I had to fucking do a pee test because they had to pregnancy test me. And
Which is so crazy because I have never done that with any of my
it's so
surgeries.
concerning because you really like can't go under general anesthesia without them like making sure.
I've been under general anesthesia like 6 times, and not once have I
That's
gotten like
whack.
pee tested.
Every time they should do it. I mean, even when I was like really young and I had like first started my period and got my tonsils out, they still did it. But yeah, but it was hard because I hadn't drank anything all fucking night, so I had nothing like in me to piss out.
You should have saved like your morning piss.
You're right, I should have. And it was also like, this is so too much information, but I was like on my period, and I hate having to like piss in a cup when you're on your period. It's like
That's so tough.
it feels wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It feels disrespectful in a way, but like there's nothing I could do about it. And so I was like, well, I mean, whatever. And so she gives me this cup. Well, first of all, we had to wait because there was someone in the bathroom. So I'm like standing outside of the door with my piss cup in my hand, like shaking. And so I finally go in the bathroom, and I'm like having a moment to myself and trying to force myself to pee. And I finally got like a little bit out, and I was like, okay, that's gonna have to be good enough. So set it on the counter, walk out. Felt so ashamed to just leave my piss there, but that's what they told me to do. And so I like walk to the fucking room, and I see everything laid out, and I'm like, this is not fucking happening, bro. And so I like lay down on the chair, and I'm getting anxious just thinking about it. And so
Okay, but you're the one that said that you'd rather be awake during it, which is even crazier.
I stand by that. I literally wish they would have just numbed me up, but they can't do that, obviously. And okay, so I'll get into it. So basically, had a lovely large team of wonderful doctors in the room with me. So I get in there. There's two nurses, legends. They were so nice. And so the one is like asking all the simple questions, whatever. The other one, I've talked about before, I have horrible veins, like impossible to find veins. Every time I've ever had to like get blood drawn or get an IV, it literally takes like 20 minutes, and this was no exception. I sat in that chair and had her feeling around my arm for 20 minutes, and she's like, I really like can't find one. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not my fault. And she was like, you're too young to have veins like this. I'm like, well, I don't know what you want me to do about it. It's not my fucking fault. And so I'm like sitting there for like 20 minutes, and I had to like have my fist balled.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, we got to take a break, bro. Like my fingers are gonna like go numb.
Did they do your hand?
They tried, they couldn't find one.
Oh,
And so
fuck.
she finally like looked and she found one. Like she couldn't even see it. She was just like pressing really hard and she felt a small one. And she was like, well, this is literally the only one I could find, so we're gonna just have to go for it. And I'm like, okay. And then so she gets it and she sticks it in, and like the little thing that they have to like attach the thing to put meds
Yeah.
through. Right. So usually they do that pretty quickly. But this time I don't know what happened, but this is so gross. If you're grossed out by blood, skip like 5 seconds. So basically she got it in and automatically blood started like pooling in that little thing, and
Yeah.
there was so much fucking blood, Kirsten. She couldn't get it quick enough, and there's like this fucking so much blood pooling on my arm, and I could feel it, and it was warm, and I was looking at it and I was like, get it away from me. I'm like freaking the fuck out. And she finally like wiped it off and we got it. It was good. And she was like, well, I'm glad that went well. I wasn't sure if it was an artery or a vein. I was like, are you
Oh
fucking kidding
my God.
and I was like, okay, well, love that, period. And so she did a great job, though. She didn't bruise me at all. I was like, what a queen for
Period.
that, because they always bruise me, but she did such a great job. And so I'm sitting there, and so, okay, so it's the two nurses, and then my favorite of the day, one of the residents, okay, he walks in, and automatically I'm like, oh, okay, hello. And so he was so cute, you guys. Let me just give you a brief description. So tall. He was like 6'2".
Okay,
Very
tall king.
muscular, and he had like the tight scrubs on.
All right,
And I'm
juice head.
like,
All right, juice head.
and I was like, this is really like doing it for me. Like, he's cute.
Okay, mixed
And
steamy.
so literally, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be fine. I've got him, like it's fine. And I automatically was like, this is my buddy for the day. And so he's like,
My
hey
buddy.
Jamie, like he's like, hey Jamie, like how are you doing? I'm like, honestly, I'm gonna be open and like honest right now to all of you. I have really bad anxiety, and so I'm not doing great. And he was like, oh, you have anxiety? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, okay. And so it's the three of us, and he's like making small talk, trying to get me comfortable. And then they put the like little oxygen thing in my nose, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. But I was already getting like so nervous because it was like things were happening. And so
Yeah.
I'm like laying there, he's talking to me, and then another resident comes in, and so the room's getting full. And I'm like, okay, there's a lot of you here. I don't like that, but and so he was great too, so sweet. He was married to the nurse, which I thought was so cute.
Love.
Um, so yeah, we're all like hanging out, whatever. And then so my worst nightmare happens. So the anesthesia. um but
Yeah.
this is great. So the really cute resident, the one who I was like, okay, hot, he was like, okay, well, he was talking to the other resident. They were discussing, and he's like, do you mind if I do the anesthesia? And I was like, okay, at least he's gonna be in charge of this when
Wait,
I'm under.
he's like not an anesthesiologist and he was doing the anesthesia?
I mean, they're trained to do all of it because they're like they do all of it, but like they can pick and
Okay.
choose like with each different patient what they do. And he was like, I'll do anesthesia on this one, and I'm like,
All
okay,
right.
bet. The cute one doing anesthesia, love it. And so I'm like laying there, and then so we're waiting for the actual like surgeon to come in. And I've never met the surgeon. I've met like another resident before. So, but we love him. Highly recommended. And so I'm like, it'll be fine, whatever. And so I'm laying there, and then Mr. Anesthesia Boy, my hot doctor, he comes over to me with my x-ray, and he sits down and he passes it to me. He said, okay, so so he gives me basically the rundown of all the fucking things wrong with my face, and he's like, so this one's sitting on top of a nerve, this one's actually like right next to a nerve, this one's in your sinus cavity. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, so basically what all that means is, and then he started telling me like you could have nerve damage, which did end up happening. And then he was like, we might like there in some instances people have to have their jaws broken to get the tooth out, and that's a
Right.
possibility with yours. And I was like, okay, like level with me here. How likely is that to happen? And he's like, I mean, I've only seen it happen like twice in my career. And I'm like, okay,
Okay, but he's a resident.
exactly. And so I was like, okay, let's hope I'm not the third. And so it was fine. And so I'm like laying there and I'm like accepting my fate. And so I felt a little bit better about the fact that he was giving me the anesthesia for some reason, because I guess I need to mention I have a really big fear of anesthesia.
I love it.
Not a fan. I
Love
don't
it.
like it. I don't like being, and I've
I
talked to my
love being put to
friend.
sleep.
I actually talked to Laura about this, and we've actually like discovered why I have a fear of it. It's because I don't like being vulnerable and like
And
having no
probably
control. That's literally it, and
your
that's
control
why.
issues.
Yeah, and that's why. And so that's me. And so I'm like laying there, and the surgeon walks in, and it's fucking game time, and I'm like, fuck. So I'm like laying there. I'm so scared, but I have to just like live with it. At this point, it's happening, and so I wish I would have gotten his name, but I don't have his name. But the hot doctor. So he sits next to me. He goes, "Okay, so I'm gonna give you the first shot," and I'm like, "Okay." I literally like feel like I'm being euthanized right now, but
I
go
love
off.
it.
No, I was not a fan. So he goes, I was literally shaking and he like grabbed my hand. He's like, "You're gonna be fine." And I'm like, "Okay." And so he like lets go of my hand really quick. And he's like, "Okay, so it's gonna feel like you just took like 5 shots of vodka at the same time." And I'm like, "Okay, I like that. Like that could be fun."
Karen.
And so and he was like, "Well, actually, I probably shouldn't have said that since you're not 21." And I'm like, "Shit, like I just exposed myself. I'm an underage drinker in front of all these doctors." And then like as I
What are
was
you gonna do?
saying that,
Tell on you?
I know. And like as I was saying that, they were all laughing at me cuz I just like cracking jokes to like lighten the tension. And like I couldn't even say anything cuz I like got fucked up all at once. And I'm like laying there looking at him and he was like, "All right, good night." And I literally couldn't even say anything back. I was out. Like it was so bad.
Dude,
I hated it.
I love the like how they're like, okay, count to like usually they like count to like
They didn't
down
make me
from
count,
10.
thank God.
I can't even get like two numbers in and I'm out. I love being put
No, I
under.
was not a fan.
But like not in like the medical set. Like that sounded wrong. Like I don't like having surgery, no.
Right,
But
right.
the nap that comes with being put to sleep,
I was not a fan.
unfucking matched. I love it. Best
I
sleep you
wasn't
could
a
ever get.
fan. And so next thing I know, I am so fucking ashamed of myself, bro. So this is what happens. Basically, the next thing I know, I fucking wake up. And I'm being woken up to a nurse taking my IV out. And that's all I remember from that. And so this is where it gets a little concerning. So apparently, I like to embarrass myself when I'm under anesthesia. So the next thing I know, I'm being transferred to a recliner. And that's all I remember. And then I was back out. And then I woke back up again. And I look in front of me, and the hot doctor is standing in front of me. I'm all fucked up. I got cotton in my mouth. And I'm like looking at him.
Looking like Ed in the green shirt from Ed, Ed and Eddie.
No, literally. So I look at him. He's like trying to wake me up, and I grab his hand. I'm holding this man's hand, and I say,
Stop.
"Thank you for taking care of me." And he goes, "You're welcome. Like it's fine." And tell me why I start serenading this man with the song "Handlebars" by Flowbots. Which, if you don't know the song, it's literally the first lines are "I can ride my bike with no handlebars. No handlebars. No handlebars."
That's
And
so
so
embarrassing.
I didn't even know I remembered this song. This is the song my older brother played for me when I was like 5. Like, I literally didn't know I knew this song still. But apparently I did. And so I'm holding his hand, singing it to him, and he's laughing. And he goes, "How do you even know this song?" And tell me why I start telling him my whole life story about my siblings. Like, I'm so mortified.
You're telling him like your mommy trauma.
Shut the fuck up. No, literally. So then I don't remember anything after that. I apparently went back to sleep for a while. And then so I'm like walking down the hallway. Next thing I know, with the lovely nurse holding me up, I was really like, she's strong because I was leaning on the girl. And I'm like walking down the hallway, fucking waving at people. Like, I don't even know what the fuck I was on. I'm like trying to talk, and I was like really talkative. And so we get into like the one room, and my dad's there. I'm like, hey. And so I would not shut the fuck up, bro. Like, they were like, Jamie, stop talking. And I couldn't. Like, I could not stop talking. And
Did
they
you
were getting.
cry?
Mm-mm,
I'm a
I didn't.
crier when I'm on anesthesia. I'm
No,
always crying.
I wouldn't shut the fuck up. I just kept talking about random shit. And then, so everything was great. I came to my house after the fact. I'm laying in bed, so much blood. Disgusting. I had to change the gauze like so many times. I had to have Jessica get me gauze because I ran out.
Yeah, that's how I was too.
And so, yeah, that was like basically the experience. And as far as the healing process goes, it's not been great. My body like always like takes a really long time to heal anyways with shit like this. Like my tonsils, it literally took me like 3 weeks before I could eat. My body just takes a long time to heal. And I feel like my body overreacts because like the swelling, it was unnecessary. Like
Your face is huge.
yeah, so like the next day, I mean, it's been days at this point. Every fucking morning I like wake up and the shit just gets bigger and bigger. So the swelling's not been fun. I do have nerve damage, so that's tight. My top lip and like a little bit above it is just like completely numb. And when I
I
like
mean, like most cases, it does come back.
yeah, let's hope so.
I know like the first knee surgery that I got, it came back like after a couple weeks, but
Mhm.
I've had so many knee surgeries
Yeah.
and those nerves been fucked up. So
Yeah.
like I don't have feeling
Yeah. So
throughout
it's
my whole side of my
yeah,
leg.
it's like my lip and above it, and then also random, but like on the side of my nose. So
Well, I feel like maybe like
love
all
that.
those nerves connect. I don't know how
Yeah,
nerves. I
they
don't know
literally
how it works.
they told me that's what it would be, and I was worried it would be my tongue, but it's not, so thank God. But I have nerve damage, hella bruising today, but I have that covered up.
Yeah, when I saw you the other day, you're a little yellow on the side.
Yeah. I can't even like open my mouth completely. It's so like swollen and just like stiff. Pretty sure my jaw's fractured. Me and my sister Brianna have like kind of come to that conclusion. And it's probably the case and there's literally nothing you can do about it. I'm also infected. One of them is like super infected right now, so that's great.
Sick.
Yeah, it's not going good, but I guess it could have been worse. Yeah. And it's like they gave me the phone number to like the on-call resident, which I'm so scared it's gonna be the cute one, so I'm like refusing to call. And because I also feel bad, like it's the weekend, I don't want to call them and bother them. And so I'm
You're
just
like
like waiting.
infected. You know,
Yeah.
I can't. I've been telling you to call, but like I can't even say anything because when my shit was literally like
Yeah.
infected as hell, I didn't call.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting because I haven't like a phone call scheduled for tomorrow. So I'm like, I'll just wait and do it then. So that's that. That was the first embarrassment, and I had a second embarrassment. I don't know if I told you about this. I think I did. So I'm sitting on my couch
Sorry.
like 3 days after this wisdom teeth surgery.
But
My
yeah.
shit is swollen, dude. Like my face is huge. I'm like in this I'm in the same shirt I've been wearing all week. Like
Bro, you literally wore that for like 7 days straight.
it was my comfort shirt. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm
I know
like
that bitch
wearing
was standing up. Chris, it's
I
like starched.
I threw it in the wash finally.
Good. It needs to go washing.
Yeah, so I literally looked like absolute like I got hit by a fucking car or something. Like I did not look good. And so I'm like sitting in my living room and I noticed across the street there was all these like power company cars and I was like, "Oh, they're fucking with the phone poles, whatever." And I didn't think anything of it, and then someone rings up my doorbell, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I, like, get up,
I
and
wouldn't
I,
have
like
answered.
well, I open the door, tell me why, it's literally, like, one of the hottest guys I've ever seen who works at this fucking company, and I'm like, "Fuck." I got, like, a ice pack tied around my face. And I, like, open the door, I, like, step outside, I'm like, "I am so sorry, I just got my wisdom teeth out." And he was like, "No, it's okay." And then he literally just needed to tell me that the power would be shut off for, like, an hour because they were doing something, and then afterwards, he started laughing at me, and he was like, "Oh, I hope you feel better." And I'm like, "Thanks." And I, like, walked away, I was so embarrassed.
That's so embarrassing.
It was tough. So yeah, I've embarrassed myself in front of very attractive men. But other than that, that's literally been my week. Just sat at home and watched TV for a week. So,
Oh, that watching anything good?
oh my God, Emily in Paris. I've been loving that show. I'm on season 2. Great show. I watched this one, the woman in the house across the street from the woman in the window or whatever. Really
The one
good.
with like the really long name.
Yeah, it's
Was
actually
it
really
good?
good. It was really short. It took me like 2 hours to watch the whole series, but it was good.
Oh,
Yeah. I loved it. So, highly recommend that one.
I have to check that out.
Yeah, you would like it. It's crazy, but other than that, that's been that's been it. I'm alive. I did not die, in fact, so that's good.
We love to hear it.
Shout out to the wonderful medical team. Thanks for not killing me. Yeah, that's literally it though. So hopefully I'll keep you guys updated on like the problems I've been having because I straight up like can't open my mouth. So hopefully that gets resolved. But other than that, it's been it. What about you? I feel like I've just talked for an hour straight.
I love how you're gonna have to do a lot of the talking today.
All right, fucking. I feel like it's because I haven't talked to anyone in like a week, so I'm like bottled up. Fucking, I'd love to talk. So.
I mean, I've been a little overwhelmed, I
Okay.
guess, the last 2 weeks. Again, school.
Mhm.
I had like a little mental breakdown on Monday about it that
You
you had
did.
to witness.
Yeah.
I ended up wiping my entire fucking computer over it. Literally, I was just going through it.
You were.
I
I didn't
was
really know how to help. I was like, this is like so tough.
I've been really trying to like I've talked to you about this. Like when I get frustrated and mad, I shut down and like I just like give up. Like if
Mhm.
something's not going the way that like I hoped it would go, I give
Mhm.
up.
Right.
And you like have told me in the past, like, oh, like take that anger and like put it in like a place to like, oh, I'm gonna do this because I'm so mad.
Period.
And literally, I was fucking in tears Monday over school. I was like, I'm going to drop out for the third time. Like, I was just so over it.
Mhm.
I was so angry. Like, it was the point where like I clenched my fist so hard and I was about to punch my fucking computer.
Oh
And I was
no.
like, I have anger issues.
Yeah.
I was
Maybe
like,
don't do that.
and then I was like, okay, this is like an expensive computer.
Mhm.
Can't really do this.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this anger and rechannel it into fucking school. So I spent like
Exactly.
5 hours wiping my computer, restarting literally half my assignments that I've already done,
Period.
resubmitting them, getting like a head start for the rest of the week.
Good.
And like I was to a point where I was like, I literally am staring at this computer and I can't fucking do anything anymore. And I just kept chugging along.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's literally so fucking overwhelming, but like
Mhm.
I know that it's going to be worth it in the end. And
Right.
a lot of the classes that I will be having coming up are like with stuff that I like do struggle in. So like
Mhm.
I feel like the upcoming months will be a little trial and error, I
For
guess.
sure.
I don't know. I've had like the urge to cry a lot lately, and I think that's like it's like a healthy way though. Like I think that like I've spent years bottling up trauma, and like I usually compress it, but like lately, like when I think about it, I just allow myself to cry.
That's good. That's a good thing.
And it's been happening more frequently lately than I would love for it to, but
yeah.
You know,
I think that's a good thing.
At least I'm dealing with it.
For sure.
What else has happened? I've noticed a lot lately. I feel like how you're just like, here's my medical issues. I'm like, here's all my feelings. I've been really working on not getting mad over things I can't control. And like that's something that I've always really struggled with. And like I was talking to one of my friends last week and kind of opening up to her about some of these issues. And she was like telling me like, you're never going to like please everyone, and someone's always going to have an issue with something. So fucking do it.
Period.
She goes, it's your life, and it's not your responsibility to fix everyone and everything.
Right.
And that's something that I've been really trying. I'm really trying. And you'd be proud of me. I'll talk to you about this like off camera. But I really kind of stuck up for myself the past couple of days, and
period.
Did it have the outcome that I was expecting? No. But like
right. It's a start.
I put myself out there.
As you should.
I was vulnerable with my feelings.
Good.
I want to give my Biotin update.
Please.
The last episode, I talked about how I was taking Biotin for like my balding. And then I woke up with all this fucking cystic acne on my face, like the most painful acne ever. And I get cystic acne, so I thought like, oh, like maybe I'm just having like a breakout. But like it was an abnormal amount of it. Yeah, it's from the Biotin.
I figured it might.
I stopped taking it and it cooled down a lot. Also, this is TMI, but this is something that like I was like googling the side effects like to see if like acne was one of them, and it was saying like cystic acne. I was like, oh, makes sense. But another one that I noticed, like my stomach's been like hurting real bad lately.
Yeah.
Ever since I started taking the Biotin. Yeah.
So like maybe that has a lot to do with what we talked about earlier. Maybe that's why.
Literally been shitting my pants so much.
Yeah. The one like the what we were laughing at, maybe that's why.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
But like literally fucked my stomach up so bad. I was like, you know
what?
The
conversation we had earlier, guys, I was fucking pissing myself. It was so funny. We have no boundaries when we talk to each other. Like we barely have boundaries on this podcast, but when we talk in private, it's so bad.
I feel like now I just have to talk about it.
I mean, if you want to,
this is
your bathroom habits.
This is so embarrassing. TMI.
It's funny.
You know what? Funny. No one probably wants to hear this, but I think it's funny.
Everyone shits. I mean, like it is what it is.
So I'm taking this fucking Biotin, and I've noticed that like my stomach's been like hurting extra bad lately. Like I always my belly always be hurting, but like this is like extra.
Right.
And like I'm sitting there and like the noise that came from my stomach.
All inwards, but it sounded like, outward.
It sounded like fucking animated. Like it was like from a TV show.
What the fuck?
And like my stomach just hurt so bad. I was like, I'm about to shit my pants. Guys, it was literally like a fucking grenade.
Bro, what the fuck? No, it's so funny.
But yeah, it's like stop taking the Biotin. Resolved literally all my issues. So
well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it.
I'm gonna have to find another hair regrowth maybe solution.
Yeah. Trial and error.
Yeah, that definitely was a fucking error.
That's so funny. You like shit your pants because you're taking biotin.
Like I had to pick a struggle. I'm either gonna shit my pants or be bald.
Right, which one's worse? Yeah. That's so funny though.
Because
That's
I
so
really thought
funny.
about it when I was like debating stopping it. I was like,
Is
is
it worth
shitting my pants really
it?
like
Is it that
not?
bad of a price
Yeah,
to pay?
right.
That's
um,
so funny.
uh, week 3
Mhm.
of my Smile Direct Club.
Oh my god, yeah, how's that going? Oh, it's so good. The outfit.
Oh, let me hold on.
Okay.
Sorry. Um, my Smile Direct Club journey. Um,
Mhm.
someone told me the other day, like my teeth,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Your smile just looks different today," and
Oh my god.
I was like, "Really?"
Period. It looks
Um,
great.
I feel like I do see like a slight change in my teeth. Not really getting used to having to wear them. Like they drive me crazy, and I literally clench my jaw so much because I'm always anxious that I
Mhm.
have made holes in every single one of my aligners.
Oh my god.
Um, and I fucking like have so much saliva in my mouth that drives me
No,
crazy.
that's another thing we should talk about. Like, this is so like whatever,
It's
but
gross. I hate
literally,
spit.
I don't mind. I don't really like.
Which is
I'm
really
not.
ironic that I just said that because a
No, that's
conversation that we
so
had the
funny.
other day.
Yeah. What is the one SNL sketch? Why do guys always wait? What did he say? Why do guys always think it's something when I have them to spit in my mouth? What did he say in that sketch?
Oh my god.
I'll
I
have to
can't
go
think of
back
it.
and yeah, anyways. Sorry.
Which is so funny because I literally was like talking to you the other day and I was like, I would let
Yeah.
this person literally phlegm on my uvula.
The fuck? Too fucking much, bro. But like respect. Yeah, but no,
Whatever.
ever since like I got my wisdom teeth out, I don't know what the fuck is happening, if it's because I'm swollen inside or something. But the like amount of spit I've been producing, it's so like obnoxious how much spit I have in my mouth. Like I really don't get it. Like I can't talk because like so much spit just like builds up, and that's why I'm like I just don't fucking talk to anyone because I really just can't handle it. But I mean, I hopefully it goes away. What if this is like my new normal? I can't handle that.
Like a Glock 8000.
No, for real. But yeah, a lot of spit happening, but that's okay.
Um, what else have I done? Oh, I've been spending a lot of time with all of my nieces lately.
Love
Um,
that.
oh my god, I saved this. I didn't tell you something that happened last night.
Hmm.
So my nieces spent the night last night, two of them. And Kylie, she is 4. She, that's my baby.
Hmm.
She's always gonna be a baby to me.
Hmm.
But she is the sassiest little girl ever,
Hmm.
just like me. Love it. And she got so mad at me yesterday when we were like reading these books. And she like rolled her eyes at me and she's like, "Ah, you're doing it wrong."
Oh my god.
And
Attitude.
my mom got so mad at me because I go, "Girl, you can't even read."
Period. As you should.
And I thought it was so funny. I thought it was a fucking heater.
That's everything.
And my mom's like, "How old are you bullying a 4-year-old?" I was
That's
like,
funny.
it's funny. She can't
It's
read.
literally so funny.
Um, what else? Oh, I have a new um hyperfixation.
No, what is it this time?
It's
That
very
sounded really judgmental. I didn't mean it. Like, what is it this time? That's not
um
how I meant it.
this time it's really random. The color green
Oh my god, same. I have a green comforter. You said
Shout out
right?
shout out to
Okay,
Amanda.
Yeah, no, I thought you said green, and then I was like, wait, did she say cream? Because that's gonna be really embarrassing if I just said I had a green comforter.
Shout out to Amanda for the new comforter.
Yeah, thanks for that. I'm painting my room soon since I got a lot of green going on, but I think this comforter's here to stay. So I'm gonna paint my room a different color.
So I have never I feel like I'm not very adventurous with my colors, like in fashion and
You're
stuff.
not. Yeah, no.
I
Not
I
a
just
neutral.
I just I'm a neutral babe.
I
What
love
can I say?
colors. I'm more of a colorful gal. I wore a fucking green on green sweatsuit to get my wisdom teeth out.
Love. But like
Period.
I always just wear like tan, black, white,
Mhm.
those gray. Those are my colors. Those are my comfort colors.
Right.
But lately, I'm so obsessed with the color green. It doesn't matter
Love
what it
that.
is.
Hmm.
Shoes, sweaters,
Period.
dresses,
Hmm.
decor. But like I got this green sweater and not to like suck my dick, but like I think it brings out my eyes.
As you should.
So I guess I'm kind of just getting adventurous with green. I feel like
Period.
I'll probably be over it in like a month, but it's fine because I
Speaking
literally
of
just bought
get
like 3 green clothing items.
Speaking of clothing items and getting adventurous, I wanted your input on something actually, cause
Let's hear
so
it.
I'm thinking like I want to switch things up a little bit. And basically, what are our thoughts on me? Okay, so you guys, everyone knows I'm like a pant girl. I love a good trouser. That's like my go-to. But it's getting warm soon, and I'm like, well, what are we gonna do about that? So obviously shorts are an option, but
I hate wearing shorts. Like
same.
I don't like how they look on my body.
I hate how everything looks on my
Same.
body.
Same.
But
But like I'm just
so
so ugh.
what are our thoughts on me? Okay, you have to be honest here. This is crazy for me. So we know I'm not a dress girl. I'm not a skirt girl. I'm not a skort girl. I'm not a romper girl. I'm not a
You haven't
jumpsuit
tried
girl.
those in so long. And what if I bought you a romper? Would you try it?
Well, hear me out. So this is what I'm thinking. I might need you to come through as my stylist and come with me to Zara soon because
I
I'm
love
thinking
Zara.
my thing, my thing for springtime, I'm thinking like long skirts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have a
I
perfect
fuck
example.
I fuck with a good like maxi dress and like a long skirt.
Hear me out. Okay. So I found this fucking amazing skirt at Zara and I saw it and I was like, okay, I don't like skirts, but like I would wear that. You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm like, shit, like, should I try?
Let's see.
Let me send you a quick photo. I gotta find it. I was scrolling through Zara earlier and I found this skirt and I was like, why do I kind of like need it in my fucking life?
I'm all for being adventurous and like going out of your comfort zone in fashion.
Right?
Which is so
Here we
crazy for
go.
me to say because I literally just said that I only wear like neutral colors.
It's like a little crazy, it's like a little quirky, but I think it has a lot of potential to like be cool. Hang
Oh,
on.
and speaking of green, I found these shoes that were green and I thought they were so cute. And my friend was like, their grandpa.
I liked them. I thought they were cute. Okay, so hear me out. This skirt was like a chunky loafer. I just sent it to you. Be honest with me. Do we think I could pull that off?
I think so. The way that this is styled though with the tank top, I don't like. Just different top.
I would never wear a
Different
white
top.
tank top with that. No. But do we think like skirts could be a thing for me?
I think it could be a thing.
I feel like we have to go to Zara soon so we can like
For
try some
sure.
on.
What
Cuz I'm
else?
just thinking like what am I going to wear like this spring? I got to have like a cute thing.
Gotta air it out, you know?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Something that I want to talk about. Jamie made fun of me because
I swear you make me sound like the shittiest person of all time on this podcast. She makes fun of me. I've always stayed talking mad shit, but it's out of love. I'm just like that's my love. It's funny to me to
so
like talk shit.
something that I love to do by myself, like an activity, is go to the movies. Which is so like, I feel like it has like a bad rep going to the movies by yourself, but I love it. I think it's so therapeutic. It's like time for me. I love like I'm a movie girly. I love
So yeah,
movies.
that's where I can't relate. I actually fucking hate movies. I
I
think they're
love
so
them.
boring, and I'm not like a big movie fan. I also hate movie theaters because I have like fucking sensory overload, like sensory issues. And why is it so fucking loud? Their speakers are like about to blow in the movie theaters. It's so loud, especially during action movies with like guns and shit. I can't. It literally makes me want to crawl
Maybe
out of my
that's why you don't
skin.
like Marvel movies.
Probably it's so loud for no reason. Like we can all hear. We don't need to be immersed in the fucking sound. That's why I don't like movie theaters. But
But I was talking to you, I was
respect to
like,
anyone who does.
when I was in the movie theater that I typically go to, it's like a smaller theater. It has the recliners. I saw an advertisement for like the Regal monthly movie pass, and you pay like $20 and you get unlimited movies. I
It's
think that's
tough.
it pays for itself because you're paying
And
like
yeah,
two.
I fucking disagree. But that's just
Okay.
me.
You're paying $12 per movie, and I could go to the movies
I'm
like
not
every
paying shit
weekend.
for movie. Like okay, see that's where like I cannot
And you
relate.
get 50% off fresh popcorn.
Now is that with every purchase or do you get one popcorn per movie you see? Because that's
I think
important. Because I'm the
that's
type of girl where I'm going for like refills and shit.
I think it's per purchase. I have to look the details.
Yeah, you'll have to
But
look at the fine print,
Jamie
but
fucking was like, "Oh, cool." Like, you're a fucking
that's
asshole. It's
that's
cool.
just
It is cool.
me.
It is
Okay,
cool.
I think anything that brings you joy and genuine
The
happiness
movies
is
bring me
cool.
so much
That's
joy.
cool. That's dope. Like I love that. Congratulations, you found a hobby, but like it just could never be me. But I respect it. I'm not talking shit. I swear to God, you make me sound like such a bad person. Maybe I just make myself sound like a bad person.
And then but anyways, the movie I went to go see, I want to give it a shout out because I don't see like anyone really talking about it, and I didn't even know about it until like
See, I'm such a dick. I was about to say, oh, must be a reason for it. I'm such an asshole.
you haven't seen it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I've literally not even seen the movie. I'm just a fucking jackass.
I
Well, speaking of Jackass, the new Jackass movie is actually good. I watched that the other day.
see.
It was
Um,
funny. I like comedies. I don't like fucking action or serious movies. It's like I got
but
enough serious shit in my life. I don't need to watch a movie about it.
I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw Dylan O'Brien like promoting this movie that he was in. And
Oh my god.
sorry. Dylan O'Brien, he's in this movie, but I saw on Twitter that like he was promoting it. Because I saw this like funny tweet and I just like clicked on the picture and it's like a picture of Kylie Jenner that's said lasagna. And I thought it was funny. And then I like actually read the tweet and I was like, oh, what is he promoting? So like scrolling through his Twitter, watched the trailer. I was like, all right, shit, I'll go see it.
Nice.
So I went to the movies. I get there, a relatively empty theater at first. And I was like, hell yeah, like I get like the theater to myself.
Right.
Then comes in like all these fucking people. I'm like, all right, whatever,
Yeah.
it's fine. So I'm sitting there eating my McChicken. I brought a whole meal.
As you should.
And then I still got food there. Got some popcorn,
Period.
a pretzel, a little
Love
soda.
that. Yeah.
I was eating good.
Mhm.
But I had this whole row to myself because I always sit in like the middle row. Perfect seat. Middle center. Perfect. I had this whole row to myself and I was like, hell yeah, like there's a shit ton of people like around me. But I got the whole row.
Right.
This old man, he's probably like in his 60s, snuck into the movie and sat directly next to me.
So if I'm you, I'm looking at him and saying, "Excuse me." That's what I'm doing. That's fucking obnoxious. I'm sorry. There is no reason for that. It's uncalled for. And quite frankly, it's a little fucking creepy to me. Like,
I was
fuck
definitely
that.
uncomfortable, but I was like,
Fuck
okay.
him.
And
I
then
would have got up and left. I would have moved. I would have been so extra. I would have grabbed my shit, stood up, fucking bumped into his legs, and walked past him and went to a different row. That's what I would have done.
but then he goes, I snuck in here. Let's see what happens. I'm like,
What a
okay.
weird. I'm sorry. That's mad weird. Like, couldn't be me. I'd be like, okay, can you sneak back out? That's what I would have said.
So like I'm like trying to enjoy my movie. This movie has like Dylan O'Brien, Zoe Dutch. I'm trying to think of who else was in it. Anyways, great fucking movie.
Mhm.
It's called The Outfit. I don't know if I mentioned that. Um, I'm literally just like watching and I'm engrossed in the in what's going on. And this man is trying to talk to me like the entire
Okay, that's
fucking
weird,
movie.
bro. You gotta like stand up for yourself at some point when it comes to that
And
because fuck that.
I just kind of be like, mm-hmm.
Why
Like,
didn't
yeah.
you get up and move? You're just gonna sit there and allow him to speak to you? Absolutely not. I wouldn't.
I'm not good with like confrontational stuff
You
like
don't even have
that.
to say anything. Just get up and move to a
But that's
different
even more
row.
awkward for me. I don't
No, it's
know.
not.
Oh
You're never gonna
no.
see him again.
You're right. I just like I'm
Fuck. See, this is why I'm like, if I were there, I would have been so like mean and rude because it's what he deserves. I'm sorry, you're weird if you're fucking going into an empty movie theater and purposely sitting next to a young girl when the entire fucking theater's open. You're weird for that, and I stand by it. Like, you're fucking weird for that.
um but like he did make me laugh at the end of it because so the movie's over and I'm getting like gathering my stuff to go.
Mhm.
And he looks at me and goes, I'm gonna go home and make a soup now.
Like, that's so
I
weird.
just started laughing so hard because okay, I feel like if I didn't explain like the plot of this movie, so like
Oh
you
my
probably
god.
wouldn't get the suit joke. But like it's in this like suit maker's like shop. Um Dylan O'Brien's character, his name's Richie Boyle. He's like the son of this kind of I wouldn't want to say like mob leader, but like
Mhm.
his dad's like a higher profile guy on the street. He was gonna
Mhm.
be the one like coming into it, like when they taking over.
Yeah.
I was just about to spoil the entire movie, but it takes place inside this guy's like tailor shop, and they use like the back room mailbox thing to like deliver messages to this group called the Outfit.
Mhm.
But it's kind of more like a mystery crime movie, and I thought it was a very good movie. Recommend it to anyone. I think you would actually like it.
I guarantee you I wouldn't, Kirsten. I don't like movies. Unless it's a fucking comedy, I don't want to watch it, and that's real shit. Sometimes it's
Okay.
scary, a movie.
All
I'd give it
right.
a shot, but I'd probably like be on my phone or fall asleep.
Anyways, I thought it was really good, and then after I told Jamie that I wanted to get a movie pass, and she made fun of me.
You make me sound okay, so speaking of me being just a complete fucking dickhead, I've found recently, so I don't know if I talked about this. I love hate comments. I thrive off of them. I think they're so enjoyable.
Jamie.
No, this is everything. This is so funny. And I love getting hate comments because I love being sassy back. And basically, we have a friend and she likes to post TikToks and they're fucking funny. And so she got into like a little bit of a beef with some random like person. And tell me why this fucking rando makes a TikTok calling out my friend and being fucking rude for no reason. And I was like, I'm the type of person where like I'll get involved in someone else's beef because like I'm not gonna let people like get talk shit on. Like I'll stand up for my homies. And so
I
I'm like,
respect
fuck
that.
that.
I'm just like
Fuck
not
that.
really confrontational.
I am. I love it. So I'm like, fuck that. You're not gonna talk shit about my friend on social media and post a whole video about it to your little fucking friends. Fuck that. Tell me why. So, let me try and find the comment I left because it was actually really fucking funny. So, I like to go for something that'll like hurt. I like to
That's
like
so fucked up.
No, because it's what they need to be humbled. So, she made this stupid fucking video talking shit about my friend by name. That's not cool with me. And so I said, "You're painfully unfunny and your content is shit. Stop coming for people and calling it a joke. I promise you nobody laughed." And she didn't have shit to say back, did she? I don't think so. And I love winning arguments. So in that comment section, it was brutal. But basically, there was all these fucking random people inserting themselves in the fucking conversation that I started.
As you just said, I love inserting myself in other people's speech.
Because it's my homie. This is not your homie. Why are you getting involved? And so they were like talking shit to me, but I always have a comeback like on hand, ready to go. And so I'm like fucking texting back, like, and then they'll like come back at me, and I'm like, fuck you. So I come back a little harder. And I love winning arguments because when they don't have shit to say back, I won. And I won 3 arguments in that comment section, and I felt really good about it. Because it's just annoying. Like, don't fucking start problems with my friends and expect me to just sit there and mind my own business. Like, the normal thing to do is to just mind my own business, but I won't. I won't. Don't come for my friends. It's fucked up. So yeah, I just wanted to like I'm kind of an asshole sometimes. But like it's funny. I feel like I can get away with it cuz I play it off as like I'm kidding, but I'm not really kidding. You know what I'm saying?
That's so douchebag of you.
I know, but it's sometimes it's necessary, and I really believe that. Sometimes people just need humbled, and I stand by that.
Anyways, one last thing I wanted to talk about is the obvious. It's been a big week in the music industry.
Oh my god, period.
Mr. Harry Styles is coming out with a new album, Harry's House.
Harold, congrats.
Yeah.
Woo. Can't wait. Woo, fuck baby fuck.
Fuck baby fuck, woo.
Can't wait for it, Harry. It's gonna be great.
So super excited for it. Congrats, Harry. What do you think the vibes of the album are gonna be?
I'm thinking sounds like a domestic quarantine to me.
You know what? That's what I was gonna say too.
But we love that for him, of course.
When you know, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like there's just gonna be some hits. I think it's gonna be a very because it's so funny because I think a lot of people originally after his Grammys performance they really thought it was gonna be like a rock album,
like a heavy metal rock, and he's like
with like the love songs, which we love. I have a feeling it's gonna be. This is just my prediction. I think it's gonna be a lot of like Sweet Creature vibes.
You know what? That's what I thought too. I was like, it's giving Sweet Creature.
Simply just based off of like the aesthetic of it so far. It's
Cannon Moon.
Yeah. It's giving like long-term relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Because like true.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So congrats on that.
Anyways, like I've been so excited for new music, but
I've been dying for it.
I'm really bummed to let go of the Fine Line era. I feel like
I
feel like every album, regardless of the artist, has like its own era. And I think music is a real healer.
For sure.
So I think the Fine Line era was a really big healer, like in my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in a way that like I can relate to like a lot of the lyrics in my own way. Because I feel like music is up for interpretation, and obviously like the way that I perceive some of Harry's songs isn't the way that or what he has written it about. And that goes for any artist. Like for example, I love the Reputation album by Taylor.
Right.
I would love to say I'm in my Reputation era. I could never have a Reputation era because I couldn't like get off the internet.
Right.
Like right now I'm in my like folklore era again. And I think each album that like I really have a sense of connection to, like it could be like really healing and relatable. I don't know. I feel like the time that the Fine Line era came out, the Fine Line era, the Fine Line album came out, I learned a lot about myself like during this time period, and
For sure.
I always relate a time in my life to like either a song or an album.
So do I.
And like the time in my life where I've had a lot of self-discovery, I relate back to the Fine Line album. Like I came out during the Fine Line album. I like, do I know who I am? Good pun.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Do you know who you are? As Harry would say, no, I don't.
That's okay though.
I'm queer and I know that. And
Period.
I've accepted that and been open about that since this album has come out. I've really had a lot of self-discovery and allowed myself to be vulnerable, and I relate that back to this album.
For sure.
So I think like I'm more like I'm yes so excited for this new album. But I feel like each album after the end of it, like you're saying goodbye to that part of yourself.
Well, and I also think it's really interesting because like I think for literally any artist, like this last few years, like this last album cycle for anyone that put out music like before COVID hit, everything got fucked up. And so it's like it's kind of like interesting because this is the music that got us through like 2 years.
Absolutely.
This was what we had.
I think that's why
no
it's like
one released
emotional.
Yeah, too. And so it really like that's
no one released the music. Fucking Taylor Swift carried quarantine on her back.
She did, but yeah, nobody really like released new music throughout COVID, and so it's like that was the music that got everybody through like the hardest time that anyone will probably ever have to go through. And so it's like really interesting that like the cycle was already fucked because of like it should have been over a year and a half ago, but everything got postponed, and so it's weird now because it feels like it's been like years of one era.
Yeah.
So it's like weird to let it go now that we've been like so immersed in it for like years at this point.
And I feel like that's how I felt too with like Casey's new album, like going into the Star-Crossed era.
It's
like,
weird.
I felt like Golden Hour was like felt like such like a sense of like new beginnings. But looking back at it, like that's how I feel with Star-Crossed, and like I relate like so many like endings with Golden Hour.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's just so crazy how music can really just like pinpoint you in a time period of your life.
It's really wild. Yeah. And it is one of those things like, yeah, especially with Fine Line. I mean, it's an iconic album at this point. It's literally like a zero skips album, and just every song is so special. And it's like it's weird because like it's not going anywhere. Like that moment is like forever a thing, and it's not ever going away.
I mean, like same thing with like his first album too. Like I could tell you where I was like the first time like I heard that album, and like even though like Sweet Creature is like a love song, I relate that song so much with Kylie, like because again music's up for interpretation. And I remember the day that Kylie was born, and I was driving home and I listened to that song and I literally was just fucking sobbing. So like, it's, like again, like it's just so crazy like how memories align with
are attached to music. And like, and I think it's also another thing, like a big thing for us is we love like going to live shows, and live music was gone for so long and it finally came back, and we saw like that one show on Harry's tour for Fine Line, and we'll never see like that set list ever again. And we're not going to see some of those songs live probably ever again. And that's really fucking weird to me. Like it's literally the cycle, but it's weird. And
like same, like I feel like live music has always been like a saving grace for me. Like it just is something that like makes me feel alive. And like it's so like it was so crazy because I wasn't able to see Harry live for live on tour, but I was able to see Casey for the like her Golden Hour tour. And it was so crazy like seeing her for Star-Crossed because some of those songs, obviously, like, it's a different cycle, it's a different era.
It's weird. Yeah.
But like, it's so crazy to like really just take in the lyrics and see how that and take in how that person grows era to era.
Yeah, it's weird. But that's the fun part about music, and I'm excited to see this new moment for him, and I think it's gonna be good for him, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, so congratulations. I know his entire fan base is so excited for it, and
I mean, it's so exciting. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like I was sitting in bed, and I was also like, because with his PR is genius, by the way. But they've been doing a fun little thing with like the website, and so for the last few weeks, everyone's been kind of like
I wouldn't say his PR team's genius.
Well, they're pretty good. I like what they did with like Eroda, like that's fun.
No,
you know,
in the sense of like his music, yeah, they're
that's what
incredible.
I'm saying. That's
but
what
I feel like it's more Harry than his team.
I think it's I don't know. It's everyone, but it's genius. Whoever is in charge of that.
I'm talking about like PR for other things with him. I mean,
yeah, no. As far as like his fucking social life publicly, it's fucking a train wreck. But that's just call it what it is. But yeah, like whoever was like in charge of that, like his publicist. There's a lot of people who are like fucking stupid and probably shouldn't have jobs in this industry, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying as far as, like, more like marketing for his like art is what I'm trying to say. Like,
but
genius team as far as like the website.
But I think a lot of that is Harry.
Probably is.
I feel like he is very cryptic and he's very detail like oriented with his things, and everything's intentional with him, I've noticed.
It is, and it's really fun, and I think that's good. It's like a little bit interactive, like with the Eroda thing, and then with this You Are Home content we're getting. It's fun to see, and so throughout the last few weeks, we were like seeing all of that, and I literally remember I was like going under anesthesia, and I'm like, if this is the day that he announces his album and I'm out, I'm gonna cry. And it was literally like 2 days after my surgery, he announced it, and that's exciting, dude. Like, I just think it's fun and it's something that connects everyone, and
absolutely.
Like so
right.
I'd love to see it.
Well, we've been rambling for a long time, so
we went completely off the rails today.
So song of the week. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, I said I've been in my folklore era for this 100th time. So I have to go with My Tears Ricocheted.
Love that.
When I think of My Tears Ricocheted, I think of driving at nighttime in the rain with my windows down.
Love. I have several, but I'm just gonna pick one today. This is kind of like, I'm not really a stan of like Conan Gray, but I've been a casual fan for a while now, and this song popped up on I had a random a playlist shuffling, and this came on, and I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Like, this is a fucking banger. And it's called Wish You Were Sober by Conan Gray.
I love that song.
Great song. Such a fucking bop. So, yeah, I've been streaming the shit out of that.
We love.
So go listen to that. That'll be mine for the week. It's good. So, yeah.
All right. Let's wrap it up.
Okay, so I think for this outro, we gotta like land on a system, and I think today should be the first system.
All right.
Let's popcorn it back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to go first?
Has been great.
This has been Let's Talk About It with Jamie and Kirsten. No, okay, wait, you're absolutely right. You should have said with Jamie. Let's start from the beginning.
Okay. This has been great.
This has been Let's Talk About It
with Jamie and Kirsten.
Tune in next week for some more fun.
Be nice, do good.
Treat people with kindness.
Stay safe.
All the love. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
That was good.